The cold is upon me. A few days ago, I came down with cold, and I've not been working because I just don't want to be on a forklift with my mind uh, in the clouds. But while I haven't been sleeping and using Kleenex and I got Mucinex over there. I was gonna put it in the video, but I don't have it. My beard has been getting shaggier because I have not been shaving it off, which I normally do. What what I'll do is I'll put in a huge chunk of sleep. That was Facebook, by the way. I'll put in a huge chunk of sleep, like 12 hours or something like that, and then I'll just kind of be laying there in bed for a long time and not wanting to get up, which is giving me a lot of time to think. And think about things that don't matter, like phones. I've been thinking about phones lately. Um, so, music is big with phones. Partly because you got the iPhone uses iTunes, and there are rumors that the Google Google will have a streaming music subscription, which means that uh, they would probably put that on their phones, and that people could access all their music, pay a subscription fee, like Zune. And this could all be total speculation on my part and various internet you know websites or articles that I've been reading. It could all be speculation, a bunch of crap. But the fact of the matter is, if Google does this, Apple is going to have to really, really rethink what they're doing. They are not a company that believes in a subscription model. They're not. Uh, but I know that Google Zune is not providing much competition for Apple, but the combined force of Google and Microsoft doing a subscription model is really going to put the squeeze on Apple. There are a lot of Google-based phones out there. So it begs a question, like what does this mean for Apple if this happens? And frankly, I hope that someone puts the squeeze on Apple, because I don't feel like paying for every album that I want to own, because I want to download everything I'm interested in. I want to experience new music. I don't listen to the radio, and I don't do singles. I buy the whole. I'll get the whole album. That's how I roll. Um, I I'm when somebody says, "Oh yeah, I like this band because I heard one radio single on the radio," it doesn't really give you a good basis for saying you like a band's all the band's music because you heard one generic radio song. And usually those songs that they write for the radio don't sound like the rest of the band's sound. Anyway, that's beside the point. Point is, Apple is going to have to really look at what Google's doing here, and Microsoft is so they're so out of the picture. It's not even funny. Like, to be honest, I haven't looked at the sales numbers, but I have not heard one single person that's ever owned a Windows phone that says I like it. uh, Everybody I know that owns a Windows phone says never again, and everybody that's thinking about getting one looks at the apps that they have available for it and goes, they don't even have a Facebook app, let alone anything else that I want. Why would I get that? So Microsoft seems to be doing to this the same thing they did with the Zune. They're just kind of letting it die on the vine. They're not doing the damn thing. It's funny because it's like, do you want this product to succeed, or you just sitting there waiting for a miracle to happen? I don't know. I think what's going to happen with the Windows Phone is that it's probably not going to take off, and they're just going to let it sit there and rot on the vine until they let it die, and then they're going to allow Zune, or Xbox Music as they're calling it now, they're going to allow that on multiple phones. It's going to happen. Apple won't allow it, probably, because, they want people to use iTunes, obviously. So that's my estimation there. I hope that the Windows Phone does fine. I like the Microsoft Music subscription. I love paying $10 a month and getting everything I want. That's $10 a month. It's the cost of one album if you don't have a subscription. So it's it's an excellent deal. And I download tons of music all the time. So and usually it's like, oh, I don't like this, so I'll just remove it. But I like to experience new things, and it's great when I get something and say, well, it's a good thing I didn't buy this. But it's really interesting. It's really interesting to think where Apple is going to go from here. Because if Google does this, things are going to change for Apple, or they're going to be stubborn and not make any money. But I think, well, I'm sorry, they will make a lot less money. Would this ruin iTunes? Maybe not. Probably not. And I think that, I'm not rejoicing Steve Jobs is dead. I'm not saying that. But the most stubborn person at Apple was Steve Jobs, to his benefit, and it also hurt him at times. But I think the person that would fight the music subscription the most would be Steve. And he's not around to say no. So if they're smart, they'll change with the market. The movie industry has not been willing to change to the market. They're fighting piracy tooth and claw, and the only, one of the most successful ways to get movies is Netflix, because it's cheap. The cost of a brand new movie is kind of ludicrous. Like, I'm not spending $20. I'll wait 6 months or whatever for it to come down $5-10. Music industry has done what a lot of industries in entertainment have not. They've evolved, and Apple's just going to have to evolve like everyone else is, slowly but surely. Anyway, that's really all I have to say about that. It's been a while since I made a video. Just kind of been tired and didn't want to do anything. I dropped my phone. I'm not redoing this video because I dropped my phone.